Morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here. I just wanted to take a few minutes to make sure everything was aligned before I get started. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my computer this morning. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing wrong, but we'll figure it out here before long and get everything straightened around. There, I think that's a little bit better. At least I hope so. One of the things I was thinking about today, which is, by the way, the kickoff to the holiday season for all of us, with happy Thanksgiving to all of our friends in Canada. The United States is next month, but this sort of kicks off the celebration of family, friends, and expressing gratitude for the lives we live. And I thought this was a perfect time to just touch base with each other, because this is what I have always referred to as the feasting season. We have several holidays during this period of time through the end of the year, but they're days, not weeks. We don't celebrate holiday weeks, we celebrate holidays. And sometimes I think we forget that because there's an overabundance of food. And one of the things that got me to thinking about the challenges that we have during this season was the meme that was posted that had the 7 containers in the plate. I think the plate was red, and then there were 7 portion size, didn't say what portion size it was, but portion size containers within that red container plate-like item. And they titled it The Perfect Plate for Thanksgiving Dinner. I'm not opposed to that, actually. I've actually been to fun family gatherings where they've used the 6 muffin containers just for the kids, which was a whole bunch of fun for the kids. But what was interesting to me is what I think a lot of us experience, and that is, what do you put into each of the containers? And when I looked at that picture, here's what I found. There was one container that had white turkey meat in it. Nothing good, bad about that at all. And then there was a container that had sweet potato casserole, a container that had mashed potatoes, a container that had stuffing, a container that had green bean casserole, a container that had buns of some kind, and a container that had gravy. Is that exactly what we would call a well-balanced meal? It seems like it's a meal that's actually quite high on carbs and fat. And let me say here, once a year, that's probably not going to hurt any of us terribly unless we're diabetic, and that's a whole different issue. If you're watching your carbs, that's really a huge overload. But it really did get me to thinking that the choices we make in the foods we eat does play a role. And there are infinite numbers of choices in most of our family gatherings that could help us. I was looking back through some of the TOPS articles, and I love the TOPS 10. I don't know if you've ever looked at them, but they're a great resource for stimulating discussion. And in this TOPS 10 that I was looking at, I came across one called the TOPS 10 Underappreciated Superfoods. Interesting, huh? It was actually a program that was out probably, I want to say, more than 12 years ago, in conjunction with an area captain program that the advocates, now used to be called area captains, presented to their chapters. And what I got to looking at was what was in this list of superfoods and how it relates to the holidays, which are on us now in full force. And the first thing that they mentioned was beans. Yes, I come from West Virginia, and we eat a heck of a lot of beans in my state. We love beans, and they're quite healthy as a general rule, unless you doctor them up in such a fashion that they're probably not as healthy for you as they could be. For example, if you put brown sugar on them or pork fat in them, or bacon or whatever, to quote enhance the flavor. I'm not sure what you're doing to the actual protein that's in that bean. It's a centuries old food. Many cultures have used it. It's a food that stores easily, it's inexpensive, and it is featured at a lot of gatherings. Eating beans has been proven to help with lowering cholesterol levels, with lowering body fat, helping with heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and maybe even some types of cancers. Supplementing our meals with a variety of beans that are available in so many different formats could be quite beneficial. And this includes fresh beans as well, like green beans. If you don't cook the life out of them and drown them in bacon fat on a regular basis, green beans are quite healthy for you. And then there's celery. I saw a meme the other day, because celery is stringy, and some people really like it. I do. Some people not so much, but it's often overlooked for the many health benefits that it contains. Such a simple little vegetable. I think you actually burn more calories trying to eat it than you do in the vegetable itself. It does contain vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that can help reduce cholesterol again, and even perhaps protect against cancer. Of course, you'd have to eat a lot. Don't ever take any of these miracles, superpower foods as a cure for anything. They're just a way of eating more healthy. And this is an easy to use vegetable, and it's so versatile. And you can add it to your favorite dishes, and think of the list of things that were in that tray. I will bet you several of them, probably the green bean casserole and the stuffing, had celery in it. Unfortunately, it probably had a lot of other stuff in it. I'm thinking of my family, because one of the things they really, really love are finely chopped olives and cream cheese put on celery. And then the little kids in my family love what they call ants on a log, which is celery stuffed with peanut butter sprinkled with raisins. So you can take a very innocent, very low calorie vegetable and make sure that it's got lots of other stuff in it. Your choice as to what you put on it to make it healthier, or don't take away from the health of it. And then there's garlic, and as a superfood, I don't think of us, many of us think of it that way, but it really is. It has such a wonderful flavor. I am a garlic fan, and some of the compounds found within garlic protect against heart disease, reduce blood pressure, lower cholesterol levels, and provide anti-clotting activity as well. Garlic actually should be a staple in the kitchen, and it does supply some vitamin C, some vitamin B6, some manganese, and selenium as well. And it is a wonderful flavor enhancer when you're trying to move away from some of the other flavor enhancers, such as the oils, butter, and I'm going to have to stop just a second and turn off my phone. I'm so sorry. There we go. Live broadcasting is never boring, is it? Oh, I'll call her back as soon as I'm done. It's about my chapters meeting, and I want to get back in touch with her. At any rate, garlic is a good way to give great flavor to food without adding extra fat, and still developing a rich, deep flavor experience in your food. Another one is onion. As a superfood, again, it's got a good bit of vitamin C and B6 as well. And they're now looking at other benefits of onions as a way of perhaps reducing the possibility of some cancers, as well as helping our immune system function better and for heart health. Again, it's not the onion itself, it's what we add in with the onion. I'm thinking again of stuffing because I have a family that absolutely loves stuffing. And interestingly enough, what they always said they liked the best about my stuffing was the butter I put in it and sauteed all the vegetables that went into my stuffing, because I did a lot of onions, did a lot of celery, did some garlic. Usually I do some nuts and a little bit of the turkey pieces that most people don't eat, the giblets, etc. But I started years ago not putting any butter in it, and they actually didn't notice the difference. I just used turkey broth instead, and it was really odd because you would say, well, it's the butter that does it. Well, no, it isn't. It hasn't had butter for ages. And I snuck that one by them. Don't always have that good success, but sometimes you get lucky and you do. Another thing that I have found that really seems to be a part of a lot of our family's traditional gatherings that are in fact superfoods are peas. We love peas in my family. And again, these plump little gems take almost no time at all to cook. And they're really packed with vitamin A, C, K, and B, minerals, fiber, and protein. Peas are a really great source of eye healthy compounds like beta carotene and lutein, including peas in your holiday gathering is certainly a nutritious food. Again, try to lighten up on some of the butter that you might put in it, some of the salt that often accompany some of these traditional family dishes that have complications for some of us. And peas can still be a star and taste delicious. I have developed a version of pea salad that my family just loves. That's really a nice counter note to a lot of the warm, heavier vegetable dishes that are sometimes offered at family gatherings. Just look at different ways of doing it, and we'll talk about I'll talk about it right now. One of the things that I've learned, and these are superfoods too, is to in that pea salad put in some sunflower seeds and some sesame seeds, even some pumpkin seeds. You toast them up. It gives you a fresh, nice crunch to add in there. And I'm a big proponent of using just a plain yogurt, whether you like Greek or regular yogurt. Instead of the mayo, I'll use yogurt and lemon juice, or yogurt and maybe some vinegar or stuff to give that little tang that everybody likes. Play around with it. Play around with putting some of the other superfoods in there as well, like the celery and the onion. You could have a wonderful side dish that is new and tasty and a hit on your plate. Another superfood is the bell pepper. Again, bell pepper goes great in that pea salad. Don't ask for the recipe because the recipe changes every time I make it. I just throw together what I have and what looks like it's going to taste good. Bell pepper probably comes in more variety of colors than any other vegetable, and it is such a way to brighten up any table setting, is to put all of these different varieties of colors. And now they are available year round, and don't always cost an arm and a leg, and they're packed with antioxidants, as well as vitamins and minerals. And these can help keep your cholesterol a little bit lower. And again, eating healthily like this, eating the rainbow, as they say, does help, it seems, with minimizing the chances of certain cancers. You can slice them, dice them, cook them, or eat them raw. It doesn't matter. Good food choice that you can have. Black pepper. Again, this is an unsung hero, I think, of the spice rack. It's a very simple spice, but very significant. It adds no calories when you flavor a dish with black pepper, but it can really noticeably enhance the flavor. Um, there is a word for what the actual black pepper is. It begins with a C. Capsaicin, I think, that gives pepper its heat. And if I pronounced it wrong, I'm really sorry. Uh, I'm not always good at pronouncing certain words, but it's well known to be an anti-cancer ingredient, and it does help reduce inflammation. And there are a lot of us with the weather changing that know that some of our joints do get a little inflamed when that's going on. And that inflammation can be the root of a lot of chronic diseases for so many of us. Use and enjoy black pepper as you go about preparing for your family gathering. And the last one is tomatoes. How many of us remember to include the tomato in our family gathering menu? Whether you do canned diced tomatoes or you do fresh tomatoes, if you still have some. Right now, we are still getting tomatoes out of the garden in my area of the country, but that won't be going on for much longer. And each one is precious because nothing tastes better to me than a fresh tomato off the vine. Again, these are full of vitamin C, fiber, potassium, iron, and lycopene as well. And if you're using canned tomatoes, they don't really lose that much of their nutrient punch in the canning process. Just watch for the salt because a lot of canned tomatoes do have a good deal of salt added to them. And I find in family gatherings, in my particular family, we have to watch the salt because all of us tend to be a little heavy-handed. So when I looked at that dish with the 7 portion containers, I thought of all the fun things that I could pick to put in there that are traditional in my family, rather than having 6 pretty heavy starches and fats and 1 lean meat. It's I don't mean this really judgmentally, but what I tend to do when I look at my family table is, which of these things do I almost never have the opportunity to savor and sample? Because let's face it, most of those things are things I really like. And I try to pick 1 or 2 of my very favorites that I probably am not going to be exposed to the rest of the year. And then look at other things on the table that are a little bit more on the healthy side, that keep me moving in the direction that I want to move in. And then the other tip has tips that I wanted to mention really have nothing to do with what goes into my mouth. It's what feeds my spirit, what feeds my soul, uh, what makes me happy during these gatherings. And it really does not have anything to do with the food. Instead, it has to do with things like what the real reason for the day is, and it's a time to get reacquainted and back in touch with family, with friends that we may not get to see all the time, and to spend time with them, sharing memories, making new memories, visiting, talking, letting them know how much an important part of their lives, our lives, we think they are, having fun together, having a chance to laugh. My family is a family of games. We like to gather together and play all kinds of silly games inside and out. There's one that we play here that involves a bean bag and a board with a hole in it. It's called cornhole. And you would think that it was an Olympic competition the way we get into it, but we have fun doing it. And it is building memories that I so much appreciate during this time of the year. Getting together with those we may not get to see every day and taking time to enjoy each other, to sit quietly and maybe look at pictures in a photo album that we haven't looked through in a while. Um, I know not too long ago, I went through, of all things, a button basket with my granddaughter. And there were buttons in there that my grandmother had. And the buttons told a story. Who would have ever thought that a button basket would bring such a tender, special moment between people? Take the time to look for ways to reconnect with the with precious memories and to build new memories as you move forward. Celebrate this wonderful, wonderful day together. Make the very best of it you possibly can, because this is what the holiday to me is all about. And we have quite a few wonderful holidays coming up to take the opportunity to share and enjoy with each other. And you will find when you go to weigh in at your next chapter meeting or get together and report in on the activities, that you have wonderful experiences to share with each other. Be happy every single day. It's a gift. You deserve it. Uh, I am going to relook at these wonderful unappreciated superfoods, and I think I'm going to try to make each one of them a star in my Thanksgiving menu for me here in the States, which will be coming up at the end of next month. You have a great day. I intend to as well. And again, happy Thanksgiving to all my friends in Canada. Enjoy yourselves. Bye for now.